guys, this is our market update video for the last week of November 2025. What we've had throughout this last week and throughout the entire month of November was a continuation of the bearish trend and the bearish downward trend that we have set in the first week of November, and the top of the FOMC rate cut decision day at October 29th, 2025 has stood strong into the end of the month. What the market has been doing on QQQ and SPY is that it has been using the setup that has used in the past regarding the previous all-time high breakout point, as well as SPY 666, as well as 6,600 and SPX as a level to retest that visit or to use as a setup to trap. Right now, where we are is we are at 6,600 in SPX. We are in the 1/3, 2/3 bearish trend trying from Friday of November 21st of last week, but it does not mean that it is breaking the low of Friday that it's set in the same day at 10:30 in the morning. Right? What I want to see next week into Monday and Tuesday is how the cycle forms here, whether it breaks higher and continues the bullish trend from 6,600, or it starts a bearish trend to try to break 6,525 on SPX. What I am personally looking at is the 1-day MACD, which is turning ugly, and it is really, really red into November. I am suspecting that we are going to have some sort of visit below 6,600 into the end of November again, and some sort of maybe revisit to 6,600. Called out in the previous market update video that the weekly MACD and the weekly candle is turning bearish, and the RSI is now violently turning downwards. This is why it is most likely up to the forces pushing lower at this point of time to stop the bearish cycle or not here. What is evident is that we have touched the 20 EMA on the weekly chart, and the RSI have crossed the blue line on the RSI have crossed downwards, just like it has earlier in the year. That means we can get some sort of hover here before the market decides to do what to do. And we can also get a double weekly red candle beneath the red line or at the red line before it decides to go more bearish from here or not. It is very important to keep in mind and to look at the Nvidia and Palantir, and as well as other technology stocks like Tesla and Apple going into the week. It also looks like to me they're using IWM, the Russell 2000, to hover here for a little bit. Last week on Thursday into Friday, we had a massive push from 229 to 237, breaking the November downward trend. It rallied on Thursday from 229 from the previous day 4 p.m. close on Friday to the previous day 9:30 open on Thursday to 237. It is making the market bullish on into the end of the week last week. It is making the market hover here at the minimum for now. IWM, important thing to watch is this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from the last week, making a horizontal support, horizontal sloping support, and it is above the downward trend line of November. We will see how this does on Monday and Tuesday. What I personally do see here, looking at the 20 EMA and the weekly chart, is that there is heavy bearish presence into this week, the end week of November, the ending of the month of November as well, which has been bloody. I think they are going to visit down below to the 20 EMA on the weekly chart this week as well. It says on Tuesday, November 28th, there is 2.54 on SPX put to call ratio, which is a huge bearish presence amount. Maybe it is a lot of too many bears, but it is for good reason. It is looking bearish on many things. Also, November 28th, which is the Friday, the ending of this week. So I don't know if they are doing this on the fact that Monday and Tuesday, most of the times market makes a bottom, which is what they, used last week as well, or if they expect some sort of chop, but some sort of bearish dip into Friday before, and then maybe a pullback up to but that is what I am seeing here on the XPX put to call ratio. The CNBC news we have over the weekend is that Dow futures rise 200 points as market attempts to rebound into the holiday week as well. And it says that on Sunday, Treasury Secretary Bassat came out and said that U.S. was not at the risk of entering a recession in 2026 and that Americans would soon benefit from the President Trump's policies very soon. He said, "I am very, very optimistic on 2026 in an interview." To end the weekly market update video, what I will say is the VIX is elevated right now at 24. What I do expect to see from the daily VIX and the weekly VIX is that it is pointing to some sort of chop somewhere here in the 20s to 17s, maybe the mid 20s range, right where the MACD and RSI is going, trying to be bullish into this week. End of the month, end of the week, we may see some sort of hover here with the choppiness of the VIX. The chart analysis on QQQ as well says that we will have some sort of visit at 585 as well as 589 being an important level of contentiousness. We started the bearish trend on Friday at 5. QQQ along with Nvidia has formed a head and shoulders from the peak of October 9th and the October 29th and November 20th. We are at 589. We might have some sort of visit down below and a retest at 585 around ish. Well, and on that note, we hope to see you on our next live stream. This is BESTSPY Live Trading. Have a beautiful end of your night, and we will see you tomorrow.